Okay, welcome to Roding Valley TV, and today we're looking at our second lesson in punctuation, and this is based on why do we need punctuation. A lot of students don't seem to understand why we use it, which is why they're not careful when they use it. So hopefully by going through why we need punctuation, you'll be a bit more careful. Some people say that punctuation is like the stitching in clothing. It shapes our material, it shapes what we're doing. And some people say that it's more like traffic signals, telling your reader where to go, directing them through your work. And some people say that punctuation is just simply politeness. If somebody's bothering to read your work, the least you should do is punctuate it correctly so they have a full understanding of what you're saying. So now let's look at how we communicate meaning when we talk. 55%, believe it or not, is through non-verbal, such as gesture, posture, so the way you hold yourself, and facial expression. That's how we communicate to other people. 38% is through the use of voice, like the speed, the volume, whether you're loud or quiet, intonation, so whether you go up when you speak or down, and the rhythm which we speak. And only 7% is the actual words we use. So if we apply this theory to our written work, instead of just our spoken word, then what would make up, if only the written words equaled 7%, what would the other 93% actually be? And I'm going to suggest on this video that the other 93% would be the things like our sentence types. They communicate a meaning, but also our punctuation. Our punctuation can strongly alter the meaning of our text. And in a moment, we're going to look at some examples of how punctuation can change the meaning of the text. These examples are from a book. They're not original examples in the book, but they're from a book called Eat, Shoots and Leaves, which is a book all about grammar. So, this first example is a really common one. Let's eat, grandma. And if you look at the way it's punctuated the first time, it goes, let's eat, grandma. And that implies that you're inviting an elderly relative around for a nice meal. Very kind of you. However, all we need to do is take that comma out and put an exclamation mark at the end, and it becomes let's eat grandma, which altogether has a much more sinister tone of the idea that grandma is the meal and not inviting around for one. Another example, famous example, a woman without her man is nothing. So this implies that a woman has no meaning to her life without a man in it. However, the same words again, but punctuated slightly differently. A woman without her man is nothing. So this completely switches the meaning, implying that man or mankind is nothing without a woman in it. Both sexist comments, but just shows how punctuation can change the meaning. On the screen now are words appearing. These words are a letter from two people who don't really exist. It's to John from Gloria. So we're going to punctuate them in two different ways now. So, dear John, I want a man who knows what love is about. You are generous, kind, thoughtful. People who are not like you admit to being useless and inferior. You have ruined me for other men. I yearn for you. I have no feelings whatsoever when we're apart. I can be forever happy. Will you let me be your Gloria? So a lovely, soppy, romantic letter from Gloria to John. However, is it? Let's punctuate it differently. Dear John, I want a man who knows what love is. All about you are generous, kind, thoughtful people who are not like you. Admit to being useless and inferior. You have ruined me. For other men I yearn. For you I have no feelings whatsoever. When we're apart, I can be forever happy. Will you let me be? Yours, Gloria. The same words, a completely different meaning, all from where the punctuation is. It automatically made me read it with a different tone. So that is the power of punctuation. Obviously, these are very extreme examples where the meaning has completely been changed. But there are a lot smaller, more minute examples. For example, if you put an exclamation mark where it shouldn't be, it could give something a bit of attitude or a bit of emotion that you didn't intend it to be. If you put a comma in the wrong place, you might make something sound like a list that you didn't intend it on being. If you miss out a punctuation completely, it could really lose, your passage could lose the effect. The difference between a colon and a semicolon. If you used a colon in a place of a semicolon, that could again change the meaning, and you can find out that why later in a different video. But hopefully you've got across of why punctuation is so important. So thanks for watching this video, and hopefully I'll soon get punctuation lesson 3. Alright, thanks, bye.